guys. Cammie here. Good to have you back. What have you been up to? Did you get your clearance sorted yet? I'm starting to enjoy our weekly get-together. I hope you do too. I keep on watching your videos and reading your very own adventures on the Gallagher Academy website. I hope you don't mind me saying, but you British Gallagher girls kick ass. Do you remember my classmate Tina Walters? Yes, Tina. The one who swears a lot of things? Well, listen to what happened during one of Professor Buckingham's boring lectures. Sorry, I did not mean to say Professor Buckingham is boring herself, but you know what I mean about teaching style. Blackthorn was a school that Mr. Solomon had gone to. A school where they make more Mr. Solomons. It was officially the strangest day of my entire covert life. And that includes the time Mr. Phibbs's lab was temporarily gravity-free. I told myself that maybe it was just coincidence that Tina Walters had been swearing for years that there was a boys' school in Maine. After all, Tina also swore that Gillian Gallagher was a direct descendant of Joan of Arc. Tina swears a lot of things. Tina is frequently wrong. But by the time Professor Buckingham took the podium and announced, "Today we will be reviewing the origins of the clandestine services, beginning with the Montevellian theory of operative development," I knew I wasn't going to be waking up anytime soon. I love Professor Buckingham. She's cool and strong and the most amazing role model. But her teaching style could probably best be described as, well, boring. Since its publication more than 2,000 years ago, the art of war has been the definitive thesis in warfare and deception. She read from her notes as warm sunlight drifted through the windows and lunch grew heavy in my stomach. Her voice was soothing, like white noise, and my eyelids felt like they weighed about a ton, since, for obvious reasons, there hadn't been a whole lot of sleeping in our room the night before. Have I mentioned that we had evidence that strongly suggested there's a boys' school for spies? But was Professor Buckingham filling us in about our long-lost band of potential brothers? No. She was talking about the 1947 Council of Covert Operatives, which, let me tell you, isn't nearly as interesting as it sounds. Then Buckingham stopped talking. The sudden silence jolted me awake as my teacher looked over the top of her reading glasses. "Yes, Miss McHenry?" And then, maybe for the first time that semester, Patricia Buckingham had our full attention. "I'm sorry, Professor," Macy said. "I was only wondering, and I'm sorry if everyone else already knows this. I'm a little new, you know." "That is fine, Miss McHenry," Buckingham said. "What is your question?" "Well, I was just wondering if there are other schools." Macy paused. She seemed to study our teacher a moment before adding, "Like the Gallagher Academy?" Liz almost fell out of her chair. Tina's eyes got really, really big, and I'm pretty sure the entire 10th grade class stopped breathing. "I mean," Macy went on, "is this the only school of its kind, or are there—" "There is only one Gallagher Academy for exceptional young women, Miss McHenry," Buckingham said, throwing her shoulders back. "It is the finest institution of its kind in the world." Buckingham smiled and returned to her notes, totally not expecting Macy to continue. "So there are other institutions." Buckingham sighed, and an almost pained expression crossed her face as she carefully chose her words. "During the Cold War, the concept of recruiting and training operatives at a young age was not an uncommon practice, and there may have been institutions formed for that purpose." Then she straightened her glasses and looked around the room as if to see exactly how far off course we'd forced her to stray. "For obvious reasons, it is impossible to determine if any such schools are in existence now. If they ever existed at all, of course." "So there could be other schools," Tina exclaimed. "Could, and are, Miss Walters," Buckingham said, her voice as strong as steel, "are two very different things." She gave us a cold smile that signaled that the Q&A portion of the class was officially over. Buckingham went back to her notes. This theory was the fashion until 1953. Eva and Tina's attention drifted back out the window, but my roommates and I remained on high alert. There have been other schools. It doesn't mean there are any now. I thought of the way Mr. Solomon and my dad had been smiling in the picture. There was no date on it, no place. It was almost like it was a fake, part of some legend the CIA had manufactured in a lab, an alias of my father's that I had never known. And then there was a knock at the door. "Yes," Buckingham said as she removed her glasses, and the door eased open. Every head in the room turned, and Mr. Solomon said, "Pop quiz." That's all for today. Join us next week for some more adventures. Or, if you can't wait, find out more in our new book, Cross My Heart and Hope to Spy. Until our close encounter next week, log on to the competition page of the GallagherAcademy.co.uk website and send us an email or a video message. The best stories will be handpicked. Good luck!